I was pretty scared when Mr. Trupp first told us about going to the collaborative classroom. I didn't know those kids, only that they were gross and messy, but I didn't complain. I was happy when I found out Jessica was in my group. She and I had been eating lunch together. She's always reading and she's smart, but she doesn't act like a know-it-all. She tells me about the books if I ask, without giving away too much of the story. I wasn't expecting or looking for a special friend, but Jessica showed up this year all the way from California, and I like her a lot. I'd like to ask her over to my house, but no one has ever come over before. I'm not sure what Mom would think. I'll have to think about it some more. Jeffrey was in our group too. All I know about him is that he always seems mad at everyone. That wasn't how it turned out, though. Jeffrey was nice with the kids, really nice, and I didn't feel scared because Miss Kelsey and Jessica were with me. Miss Kelsey knew I was nervous, and she helped me get used to everything a little at a time. I noticed she didn't wear a wedding ring. Mr. Trupp had a lot of options. Little Emily was so cute. I didn't want to touch her hands because she always had them in her mouth and had slobbery spit all over them. But Miss Kelsey gave us this handkerchief to wipe her up with every once in a while, and then it was okay to touch her. I held her hand on the way to do jobs and on the way back. She smiled at me, and then I felt like I was going to cry. I hadn't expected that. One day, after everybody had been to visit the collaborative classroom at least once, Mr. Trupp decided we needed to discuss our group experience. Mr. Trupp, I said before we got into a serious discussion, did you know that Miss Kelsey doesn't wear a wedding ring? Is that so? Yes, and neither does Miss Newberry from across the hall. I did know that, but thanks for those observations, Anna. Then Peter started in, ooh, Trupp and Newberry sitting in a tree, Kissing. Okay, Peter, ha. Mr. Trupp held up his hands. Enough of the matchmaking, though I appreciate your looking out for me, Anna. Now, how about sharing your experiences? I wanted to tell Mr. Trupp that my mom didn't have a wedding ring, but he'd moved on. Jessica was the first to speak up. Mr. Trupp, why is James in that room? He seems really smart. Yeah, Peter said. He knew how many folks and stuff were on the table without even counting them. You should do some math with him, Luke. Not exactly a retard then, huh, Peter? Mr. Trupp said. No, Peter's voice lowered, and so did his head. He's autistic, Jeffrey said. No one said anything, probably because we were so shocked that Jeffrey had spoken at all, and because we didn't know what he meant. James has some things that he's really into, and he knows everything about them, Jeffrey went on. A lot of autistic people have a special talent. James is great with numbers, but he has his problems too. Hey, we should have had him tell us how many blades of grass were in the soccer field, Peter said. Yeah, and I never would have got hit in the tushy, Lexi told him. Peter grinned. But that was the best part. All right, you two, that's enough, Mr. Trupp said. How do you know all that stuff, Jeffrey? I said, even before I knew I was asking the question. I felt instantly bad. Jeffrey wasn't looking for extra attention. Jeffrey didn't answer. He was quiet again.